Life can be a challenging course to navigate, especially if you feel like you don't have one particular group that you can belong to. Maybe you don't have a friend or group that you click with. Maybe your home life is less than ideal. And maybe you find some folks that you finally click with, you can laugh with, and you can skateboard with. And that's where this story begins. So, does mid-90s deliver on the story of a boy who's lonely and looking for friendship, or is this just one long commercial for skateboarding? Let's talk about it in this review. This film was written and directed by Jonah Hill. In this story, we meet 13-year-old Stevie, who's played by Sonny Soljic. He is the youngest of two children, and his older brother Ian, played by Lucas Hedges, is an angry and violent sibling. He seems to take out his frustrations on his younger brother almost daily. And they're both children to a single mother, played by Catherine Waterston. The family dynamic leaves him with a sense of loneliness. That is until one day, when he sees some fellow teenagers skateboarding around and he decides to go ahead and meet them. And that's really where this story shines, is in that brand new dynamic that's created between Stevie and his new skateboarding buddies. And Sonny does a great job showcasing all of the excitement and all of the joy you get with new friendship. All the smiles he delivers on having these new friends was believable. Also, on the flip side of that, the anger and frustration that he feels when his mom confronts him and his friends about drinking and smoking, that was intense and also believable. In all, the film's success might not be in the story of belonging and finding kindred spirits, but more towards Hill's ability as a director to pull out these performances from his actors that feel genuine and believable. The on-screen chemistry he is able to get from these actors was grade A. The story is written in a very direct and to the point style. We move from point A to point B in about 84 minutes. So the movie wastes no time telling this story in just under an hour and a half. We meet the characters, we understand the settings that this film takes place in, we understand the friendship and family dynamics. And this was done in two ways. First, we have spoken dialogue that explains to us why certain characters behave the way they do. For example, it's explained to us that the character Ruben is beaten and the character Fourth Grade is incredibly poor. The second way is through dramatic performance. Lucas Hedges is able to deliver incredible anger, rage, and fear. Sonny is able to deliver all of the feelings, all of the emotions, including rock bottom. As we see in one scene, he's trying to strangle himself to death with a Super Nintendo cord. The film delicately balances these two methods incredibly well. In all, the story does a great job of showing us what life is like for these teenagers at this one specific point in time. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it again. Hill's directing ability to pull out these incredibly believable performances from the actors was definitely the high point for me in this film. And by the end of the film, we see that family and friendship can run hand in hand, even after a fight, an embarrassment, a tragedy. Family and friends will always be there. And maybe, just maybe, remembering the good times will help you get through the bad times. Mid-90s is playing at your local movie theater right now, and I'm actually not going to recommend a big screen viewing of this film. For everything that I enjoyed about this film that you just heard in this review, there was one scene in particular that I think was unnecessary and could actually lessen the impact that this film has at the box office. Teenagers drinking and smoking, we have seen before in countless films. However, when Hill decided as the director to go ahead and show two teenagers undressing each other on the big screen, I felt that was kind of weird. Because we as the audience understand when she takes his hand and walks him back to the bedroom, what's about to happen. So go ahead and cut from the door closing to the next scene where we see the girls in one room talking about what happened and the boys outside also talking. And I understand what this film was going for in creating a sense of believability for these teenagers at this point in their life. But I feel like Hill is going to take some heat for that creative decision, and I feel like that could have all been avoided if, again, once the door closes, cut from that all the way out to the girls talking and then the boys talking. Something similar to what we got from Summer Lovin' in the musical Grease. In my opinion, we don't need to see teenagers undressing each other, and I'm not even sure why Hill would want to direct that scene. Other than that one scene, I thought the rest of the movie before and after was done incredibly well. But unfortunately, that one scene was enough to ruin the momentum this film was making, and when that scene started, I honestly thought to myself,
it's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
So because of that, Mid-90s will only be getting one high five from this guy. Mid-90s is playing at your local movie theater right now. Check it out.